All right. All right. All
So,
right.
ready to record when you are, as long as audio is looking good. You can hear me, I can hear you.
The audio on my end seems amazing too. So,
Alright, sick. Then let us begin.
all right. Welcome to the distant interview where we talk at a distance. My name is Flower Kid, your host, and today I'm interviewing Marcy. Or
Hello.
would you like me to call you anything else? Would you?
Nah, Marcy's it. That's
All
the one.
right. To start this interview off, I wanted to say, how did you get your name?
So, I was a big old Adventure Time fan. Back in 2014, I was about like 13, and that's when I really got hyper fixated over Adventure Time, and one of my favorite characters was Marceline.
Hmm.
Um, Keeping in mind this was like 8th grade and the online username I've been using since. So before 8th grade, my online username was always like Red Yoshi 201 because I love
Oh,
Yoshi. Red's the favorite color. 2001 was the year I was born. Take away a zero. Red Yoshi 201. But here's the thing: going into high school, it's like mature territory is also the
yeah,
thing. So
yeah.
you're like, when you're making your Snapchat username, you don't want to go, oh yeah, add me, bro. It's Red Yoshi. Nah, that's cringe.
No.
Um, so what I ended up doing with my next few like online accounts was, during my Adventure Time phase, I'm like, I really love Marceline, and also there's that like gender swap Marshall Lee character, so I just went Marcy Lee, and then bada bing, bada boom, Marcy came about.
That is an amazing name. I really like that. I'm a big Adventure Time fan too, so I
Let's
respect that.
go. You
So
finished Distant Lands?
I have. It was. Oh my
Mint.
God.
Molto bene.
Yeah, I just feel like crying every single time. It's too good.
That was my next question. My next question was, did you cry?
Uh, yes, because I watched Adventure Time with my brother, and you know, he grew up and moved away, and
Mm,
it felt like the exact same thing. Where it's like,
right.
just meet me later in like a different lifetime or something. I'm like, oh, cool. And then
That's really sweet. I've never actually. Oh, that's a very interesting like way to view the. I assume the dynamic between Finn and Jake.
yeah, like brothers from a different mother.
Hmm. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Thank you. While talking about Mario or Yoshi, what are you looking for in the next Mario movie?
Just straight up Yoshi. I'm so keen for Yoshi,
Just Yoshi?
bro.
That's
Like,
fair. That's fair.
bro, during all the like the posters, all the like still images being like released on Twitter, I was just actively seeking my main man Yoshi. All right, and then I see nothing, and I'm just dreading it. I'm just like, where the heck? By the way, is this interview? Can I swear,
Yo, you can
or would you
swear.
prefer?
Just you can swear. I
All
don't
right,
mind.
I was like, where the fuck is my main man Yoshi, bro? I say Yoshi because I'm weird.
No,
Um,
it's alright. It's everyone has a preference.
Like I've loved Yoshi ever since like 3rd grade. So like 10-year-old Marcy was just obsessed. And so see a Mario movie, I wasn't keen for the actual Mario movie. I was just keen for that 1080 H or 4K quality Yoshi on the big screen. So when I saw 1 second of Yoshi on in the newest trailer, that shit already got me hyped. I'm so keen. I'm
I
so ready.
I'm a Toad fan, so I already saw Toad, so I was like,
Bro,
I'm
you're
here.
eating good. You're eating good.
I'm really eating. Like I don't I don't I forgot whoever plays Toad, but it
Um, Cam, not Cam, like the comedy guy from Key and Peele.
oh Key. Oh my God. I feel like I'm just personally me. I feel like a lot of people on the internet are a little too cynical these days because they're saying like, oh, this is not Toad, this is not Mario, this is not Luigi, this is not
Hmm.
Donkey Kong, and this is not Princess Peach. How do you feel about those people saying
Now,
this?
I do agree it's a bit cynical in the department of Toad and Peach and like I look at. Bowser. Jack Black's doing an amazing job. Mario though, I
Agreed.
agree, 100. Like, bro, like Chris Pratt Mario, I don't know about that one. All right.
I don't know about that one either because who I don't know. I mean, I rather not even Ryan Reynolds could fit that role. You know, just like I don't like what who
Look,
could fit that role.
the thing, like, I don't know who could fit the role, but I just Mario is a very energetic character, and with like all the trailers and stuff we've seen, Chris Pratt ain't matching that energy. Alright, I was like kind of hopeful because like I loved him in the Lego Movie. That's another like Lego Movie. God, cinema.
That was good. That was good.
But looking at the trailers, I'm not seeing that same energy. I'm gonna keep it a buck 50.
I just I'm hoping that whatever he doesn't have that energy. Maybe Luigi, maybe just other characters might just fill up that role.
That's what it looks like. Like
Yeah.
Luigi's looking good, but I'm pretty sure Luigi's gonna be like the B plot of the movie. So,
That's
but that's just a theory, a film
a
theory.
film theory.
We'll see next year.
Honestly, while talking about films, how do you feel about the on your second channel, Marcy the sequel? How do you feel about doing the chess movie? Did you like it? Was it hard?
So, fun fact, actually, Marcy the sequel was first, like, came first out of like from a behind the scenes standpoint. Marcy the sequel was first because back in high school, me and my mate, the mate you see in the video, he's my best friend, and
Cool.
it all started back in high school that we did a media class, and then for all the little assignments, we just made like these little videos to make the class laugh, and then outside of high school, we're like, let's just keep this going. And at during that whole point, it was only like 5-minute videos and whatever. But for this one in particular, we're now in university, and so my mate's assignment for university, he's doing a different degree, was to make a big creative piece. So we decided to go like all out in our, because we're already familiar with like sketch film and whatever. We decided to just like expand on that. So as opposed to making like a 5-minute like video with like all this like very simple camera angles and all of that, we made Chess the movie, which was originally meant to be 7 different videos, but also we are not that productive. And we like we that is not within our like creative capabilities given the time frame. So we just made the one video, and it was a pain. Like, from a time standpoint, like, because we had a deadline, and so it was just pure grinding. Like, I think we spent like 3 total days just filming, and we only filmed in like the one room. We already like we had a storyboard. We knew what to film, but it was just like a pain. Script writing was fine. Like writing is like my natural area of expertise. So I just knocked that out in like a day. And then video editing was like, yeah, that's probably the most tedious process. So I like to divide like all my projects from writing, and then making, and then video editing. And so video editing took like 2 all-nighters. Like I slept during the day and did my usual stuff, but then I like during the nighttime sat down and then just grinded out the editing, because this project we decided to do like to just expand on our like creative abilities. So the things like greens, like the Western world or the war, that's like we're approaching like foreign area of like editing and whatever. So but it's always good to like learn how to do these things. Like the goal of every project is always to like increase like or to expand what we already know. And so we can see, if you look through my videos from like 2020 to now, you can just see there's a clear progression in quality from a behind the scenes standpoint and on camera.
I was about to say on your, well, is is marcylee your second channel then, with the with your
Yeah,
three
so
different projects?
yeah, so yeah, I just call the channels like Marcy the sequel or Marcy.
Okay.
Um, so at this point of time, neither like there's no main channel or whatever because it's such different content. The main
Right.
focus, like the main passion, is like Marcy at the moment. The thing is, like, I love comedy, and I'll let you know, like, I'll tell you later on, but like, the Marcy channel has only recently started like developing into this like idea, but you know,
Hmm.
I'm passionate about both projects. There is no main,
Okay.
there is like no priority, I guess. They just kind of coexist.
I like that. I like that. With your Marcy channel, out of your three projects, Happy Birthday, What is Friends, and Where Did the Happiness, what was the hardest to make?
I'll probably Where'd Happiness Go? Like the because it was the very first one. I was like finding my footing, finding like how to like because I think
Hmm.
I filmed that one. That was originally meant to be me talking to the camera. Like I just sat, like I put my camera on my desk and then talked to it. And then I look back on the footage. I'm just like, I'm not happy with this at all. Because
Where
like it
did the
was a
happiness go?
yeah, like it was just so boring. And because it was my first video, I was still like finding out like how do I want the script, how do I want the visuals, how do I want everything to look. Um, and so it was just like a lot of refining. And I guess that was the most difficult process was just finding like its identity really. But now that I've like found its identity, you can see in like the next two projects, like um,
Yeah.
it's basically become a staple. Like every time I'm writing each new project, I always refer to the like the previous one because I'm like, all right, I did it right the first time. I can just copy and paste it.
Yeah, your process is really amazing because honestly, I'm kind of like um uh and not I wouldn't say jealous. I'm just like, man, I want to do that. Like inspired. Okay, I'm inspired because when I first saw your channel, Buttercup X Ocean Man,
Mm.
I was like, man, this is really like good audio syncing and like, and it was just an amazing video, by the way, just
Thank you,
great.
thank you.
It felt like a different piece, a different music. And when I went to your other channel, I saw the Happy Birthday and What is Friends, and I was thinking, do you think music plays a part in emotional moments in your videos?
100%. Like music is like a very critical thing in the production process. Like before every project starts, I always like to have like a visual of like what 5 seconds of the final product looks like. Like
Mm.
um and that visual is often dictated by the music. So with the Happy Birthday video, literally before the script was made, before the idea was even conceived, I just knew that with the song Breakfast by Half Alive, even when I just casually listened to it, um, I heard the first like 10 seconds and I thought, this would be really good if I edited this with that. And like it sort of
Yeah.
visualized that idea.
That's a
Um,
big brain moment. I like those. I like when those excited moments when you're like, huh, if I do this with this, it turns out great. You know?
yeah, uh,
Great.
and that's basically what happens. Like, and with What Is a Friend, there's like a little bit in the montage, like in the middle of the video, there's like this cute little like frame montage of like photo thingamajiggy. And once again,
Saw
before
that.
the whole script was made, even before the videos themselves were recorded, I just listened to the song and I just think this would fit really nicely here. Um, so that's from a production standpoint. From a musical standpoint, um, it I think it does like it sets the mood. It brings in the aesthetic. Like one of my biggest priority with these projects. So I call the series the Midnight Train. The biggest priority
Hmm.
with the Midnight Train is
Ooh.
to like welcome to be a very chill atmosphere. Like you're watching these videos in the middle of the night when you're by yourself. You don't want some loud energy because like
Right.
um the message the things that I say in these videos, like you can find them in like there will be like a life coach on YouTube who will just be like, hey guys, welcome back to Life Coaching 101. Today's episode, what is a friend? And then they just go on and like
It's really too. That's too true. Also, you described what I was doing when I was watching your videos. I was just late at night listening. I was like, spot on. This is the
that's the
midnight.
point. Like the synopsis, I guess, is like the midnight train is like the train of thought at midnight. Like when you're alone, there are these things that make like your brain just decides to go haywire and think of all these things that end up making you feel like the sad vibes, like depresso espresso. And so I just try to hone into that. Like I'm like, what is this? What is something that we're all thinking that ends up making us like a little bit sadder on the daily basis? Whether it's like our perception of like what a friend is, or why we're not happy, or like the reason why happy, but like the reason why birthdays make us so unhappy. But yeah, so the whole idea is to move away from like the lecturer kind of vibe, because I hate those. Like I can't sit through a lecture, I can't
I
sit
feel
through
you.
life coaching.
I feel you.
I
Oh, just
Yeah, you
one.
go.
Thank you, sir. One moment.
That's like,
One moment in actually, when I was in university, I was during a class. I could not just focus, and I kind of realized that like focusing is different from like high school to like university, and it really makes me upset because I took all that time in high school to be like, I'm focused, I'm ready, I'm looking, but then I go to university or college or whatever, and I'm like, this is different. They don't really like, half of them don't care and half of them do care, but it's just really unnerve. Like I can't focus.
100%. Yeah, and I think like a thing about university, is that it's less personal because like you're in the teacher like is in a room, like is telling their content to a room full of people. Like it's not just you.
Right.
Like the great thing about like videos is that it's basically it is a one-on-one, keyword being conversation. If it's a conversation, you're more engaged in it, you're more focused in it because it is directed at you, like personally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really love that one-on-one because I don't know. For me, it's I can put on a video and I can learn from it, and also I can just, have a teacher be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do today. I don't know. Maybe I need to adapt, or maybe I need to find
No.
someone.
It's not that you need to adapt. It's that universities need to recognize all this because like a lot more like people in this generation are like being less like I guess. Nah, I'm gonna restart that sentence.
No, you're good. You're good. I could
Backspace
have
that.
just like Twitter. Just like, what did you say? What did you say? I'm listening in.
No, okay, no. A lot of people with this generation are coming forward with the fact that like, I know ADHD is becoming more prominent, and but also just in general, personalized like learning experiences is like something that we need to advocate for. This is derailing, really.
Yeah, but don't worry. We're gonna go back one whole circle. One whole.
Yeah. Okay, because there are so many factors when it comes to education, because everyone is so unique with how they receive information that it's kind of it's not impossible, but it's difficult now to apply the old strategies to everyone else now because
That's
like
true.
everyone else is like finding these different ways to be engaged. Like back then, they didn't have technology as a education like as a service of education, but now technology is a factor into not only our generation but into our education. So like it's completely changing, and so it's not that we need to adapt to like old circumstances, it's that there are new circumstances and schools and universities should adapt to that and go, okay, how can we engage more with our students? How can we I gotta also consider, like, from their point of view, it's one teacher with like hundreds of students.
Oh
It's
yeah,
very
the teachers being
very
paid.
difficult.
Yeah.
There's that, but also there's the fact that, like, there are unemployed teachers, or like there are easy solutions to this, but people just, they are under the impression that if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, it's
But in
broke.
actuality, it is broken.
It's broken.
It's it's hell broken, bro.
Dude, I've heard that saying so many times when it comes to things that are like actually broken. They're like, nah, it's actually pretty good. It's actually all ready to go. But then you realize that like it starts to fail, and they're like, why did this not work? I never saw this coming.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like Jesus.
It's,
No, go ahead.
No.
Alright.
We can put a full stop on that.
All right. While talking about university and all these worrying school problems, will you come back to Marcy when you recover from burnout?
Yeah, so I've started writing another Marcy thing.
Ooh.
The thing is, like, I hate being away from Marcy. I genuinely like despise it. And it makes me feel like trash, like IRL, because there's like it is my passion project. It is what I get so much fulfillment out of it. But then yeah, university work, they like take my attention away from it. And so I also just don't have any discipline when it comes to creating my stuff. I'ma keep it real. Like the birthday video, the script was literally completed in December, but then I didn't start working on the recording and all of that until like June.
Oh my.
I am a if there was an Olympics for procrastination, I wouldn't even show up. I'm just that good.
It's ahead of the game already. You're already winning.
But I am trying to work on it. Like, I do go to therapy for ADHD, and so we are like employing all these like different strategies to like make it so I am more disciplined with my like just scheduling, not just with Marcy but everything else. But like even if I'm burned out, like I would still just want to go to Marcy, because Marcy doesn't make me burn out at all. No, it's always just yeah, no, I got stuff in the works. I got a lot of things in the work. It's just a matter of like actually doing it.
Yeah, no,
like sometimes sometimes like right now I'm on university holidays, and like I'm on break. I literally am on break. But I just get tempted with all these other things.
I'm so sorry, but also I am very grateful to have you to get the interview at a time like this.
That's fine. No, I'm chilling now. Like, and it's no problem at all. I really wish that there was some answer to how do you be more disciplined with, because I've been the Midnight Train started back in 2020, but the happiness video was released last year. And if I actually dedicated the time, instead of like wasting my hours on Overwatch or Tetris or other stuff, that I could have like 10 videos instead of 3. Who knows? But anyways,
I feel you on the same thing.
I think your upload schedule is pretty good. Like you're pretty consistent.
Oh my god, you don't know how. So I actually I suffer from like I think it's called hyper something. It's where you have to, it's the opposite of writer's block. I had too many ideas in my head to like actually start working on stuff. And I was I started to just stress out, and I was like, what do I do? I have I had like 5 videos talking about like different cartoons that no one ever heard of, I had 3 videos of reviewing music, I had 2 skits that I could have done, and I was just panicking, honestly. And
Mm.
I kind of stopped, and I kind of like just sat back, and I was like, okay, I have a job, I'm doing YouTube, and I'm only doing this job for a year until my YouTube kicks in. And if it kicks in, I'll keep doing YouTube. If my YouTube doesn't kick in, I'm working with at a family company, and I'm still gonna keep doing it. That's the
Yeah,
whole plan.
yeah,
And
it's great.
and I'm like, okay. I sat up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get my green screen. I'm gonna buy a green screen. I'm gonna buy a light. And I'm just gonna film. And that's what I'm doing right now. So that's kind of my process. If I
Oh,
can,
that's great.
I don't want to keep my brain from creating stuff, because I also hate the same thing where, like, if you have a project, if you want to do something, I think you should just do it, you know? Just like go ahead, do it. Get your brain all that melatonin from achieving said goal, you know? Because,
Melatonin or
yeah,
serotonin?
serotonin. Gotcha.
um, I think it's great that like you, have a plan and like, or like a backup plan, and like there's like a road ready for you. And I think that's great. It's definitely a valid thing to like. I like to say like it's paralysis from like overwhelming choice.
Yeah.
Like that's a it's a real thing that like God, let me articulate this real quick.
Hey,
Uh,
I'll let you cook.
um, when you have so many things that you want to do, yeah, obviously you don't like. Our brain doesn't really like. We have to really push it in order for it to like actually prioritize it or like to like order it,
Right.
because otherwise we just stand in the room with 10 doors that are closed and we're like, all right, which door? And then we just keep on thinking of what's behind every single each of those doors instead of just sending it and just walking through one of the doors. Shit analogy, my bad.
No, I think it's great. I think that's a good way of having that's me in my brain. That's literally me. I have too many doors open or closed. You know, I have to open all of them.
Yeah, but like the thing is, alright, we're gonna commit to the door analogy.
Yes!
The thing about the doors
Let's
is that
go.
when you open a door and you go through the door, it's not like you know the game Stanley Parable by any chance?
Yes, I love Stanley
It's not like
Parable.
it's not like Stanley Parable where you walk through the door closes behind you automatically, and then you're locked in there forever. No, you can walk back. Alright, so once you explored that room, go back and then look at your other options, and then go find out what's in store for over there. Like it's not a commitment, like like a permanent kind of commitment. You always have the choice to you know, back out and just evaluate your options. That not evaluate your options, but just see your options. Yeah.
I feel like that's a learning moment for a lot of YouTubers, or just a lot of like people who like to make film projects or just anything project related. Because when you start something, like I was gonna start making a video game, right? I wasn't even gonna be an interviewer. I wasn't gonna interview people. I was just gonna make a video game. But I realized that if I go to that path, if I open that door and I try to shut myself out, you know, just only making that video game, I'm locked out from other potential doors of making content. Like I really want to talk about, you know, artists that make cartoons that are just cool that no one talk about. I want to talk about hidden gems that people should, I don't know, talk about. And it makes me happy that I chose this path to not make a video game just yet. But I still like, I'll probably in the future go back to it, but it's always good.
Exactly. Like the whole path of like it's not like if you commit to being an interviewer, the video game path is gone. Like that
Right.
it's still there. It's just sitting there. You know?
Sitting there,
Like
waiting.
it'll collect dust, but like it's still there. And just like yeah, because I've got Marcy the sequel, and then I've also got University and all of these things. And I always tell myself that like I'm not gonna be a real artist because I can't like 100% commit to one of these paths. But like, I'm literally doing it right now.
You're like,
Like, even though like if I did commit to one of those paths, like my production rate would be higher or whatever. Um, I'm when you I can say that I am simultaneously doing comedy, doing video essays on emotional intelligence, and doing university right now. Like, I am doing all three paths, and like, eventually, so I always wanted to do stand up. That's where Master of the Sequel came from.
right.
It's just a video form of stand up, but that's been on the back burner for like years. But it hasn't necessarily like closed. Like I can always just go back to stand up whenever. Nothing's really stopping me just because I have these commitments.
Right, right.
So yeah, that's the truth. Like people think that one part it's just one pathway for them, but life is just so like crazy and extravagant, and the reality is that we have so much time. We have
really
so
do.
much time.
We really do.
One of the worst things that the internet has done was tell us that we need to have so much accomplished in such a short amount of time. Doesn't matter what age you are, like this amount of time you can accomplish this, that, and that becomes a standard that we apply to ourselves. But in actuality, it's not realistic at all.
That is that's your point from birthday. I remember that when you, I think it was when you were like, it was a car, and it was like you started at the same place as someone else, but they are already ahead of you. I was like, man, dude, that's me. That's literally me. I've seen so many people like at my age make YouTube videos that I've always wanted to do. I'm like, will I ever get to that status? Will ever I get to that point of just making videos?
You will. It's just not going to be the exact same road as those guys.
Same thing that I said. I'm like, you know what? It's not it. Not
yeah.
It's just a
that's
different.
Great. That's the healthy way. That's the healthy way. Right? Because if you don't tell yourself that, it's just going to be a self-destructive kind of like comparing, and you get nowhere with that. You get nowhere. If anything, you risk even more like just paralysis, because you're demoralized now. Your morale has just dropped.
Oh, I feel you on that, because I think at some point. Oh yeah, I should have told you about Distant, right? I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think I've told you about this. Yeah, it's not too late. Distance was a failed high school project. It was failed and it all started in a closet. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna record myself in a closet, and I'll do it. And it sounded really bad. I have a YouTube channel. I have an email for it. It's really bad. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. Even though I want to be a podcaster. I wanted to talk about my feelings. I don't want to do it anymore. And I got upset and I got dejected, and I think it was like the worst decision I ever did, because I could have kept going, no reason at all to stop doing it. But you know, look at here today, I'm interviewing someone with Distant. So I feel like I closed the door, but I opened it again. You know?
Yeah, but you also messaged me saying that like you realized that you should just make this content for yourself. Like you overcame that dejection. That's how it is. And so that was a really good and valuable lesson to take to your future creative endeavors.
Thank you.
So like, I'm not saying it was necessary for you to give up, like the whole like
just give up now, stop.
So like the silver lining is that you learned a very valuable lesson to be applied. And I think that's sick. And like and you know, I think you might be telling yourself, oh, if I committed back then I would have like all these episodes. I could have been big by now if I just committed back then. But it's also that's once again an invalid timeline you're thinking about. That's a whole hypothetical reality you're thinking about.
Right.
And it does not benefit you at all thinking about it at all. There's no point.
It doesn't.
You're in this reality. There's no point like just thinking about in this alternate life I could have been better. Like there's nothing good to come out of that.
You really don't gain any. I kind of realized that I don't I think a lot of people like to hyperfixate on a lot of things like, and one of the things that I wanted to ask you about hyperfixating is, do you still play video games nowadays? Dude, what do you play?
So I play Overwatch and Tetris, and strictly just those two games. Um,
Oh,
I love Overwatch. Like it is like I hold it very dear to my heart. It has played a significant role in my life from like a domino effect kind of perspective. Um, I just grind that out with my friends and all of that. Like I've literally met friends through Overwatch, and I like traveled interstate to meet them, and it's just been such a vibe. Um,
beautiful.
that's a and Tetris. Oh my god, bro! Okay. I don't like the idea of tattoos because
Right.
tattoos is like a very permanent thing, and I just don't know if like anything in my life is actually that permanent enough for me to like actually stick a tattoo on there.
Right.
This
want to
year?
be significant.
Yeah. So this year I got my very first tattoo, and it's a around my arm. It's the Tetris blocks because I figured out that in my 21 years of being alive, Tetris has been the one constant, and throughout all my changes, throughout all of my different eras, I guess you can say, Tetris has always been there, and Tetris, I see it continuing to be there. Like, um, it's such a good like metaphor, for life, like
It
in that
it
we're
just
all pieces trying to connect with each other, or you know,
yeah.
life's giving
Yes.
you all these pieces, and you have to make do with the pieces, no, like with what you got, and make the best out of the situation. You know, like people get dealt a shitty hand in life, but you know, you can just reorganize those pieces and just make the best out of it. Um, so that, and also it's just a sick game.
It's just a
It's just a,
fire game.
it's just like, bro, clickety
Point
clackety,
and
like.
case. Fire game.
Mm.
I mean, oh man, that's such a I'm so impressed because I never really thought of thinking of Tetris like that. I never like, man, that's beautiful. Thank you for the insight.
It's it's reading into it 100%, but you know, like as a writer, you just make something out of nothing. You can make meaning out of Tetris.
I
Um,
I swear to God, everything.
it's all about how you see things and all of, like the perception of things, and that's how I see Tetris, a metaphor.
I actually have a tattoo of my own. Would you like to know the backstory of it?
Yeah, please.
It's a four-leaf clover,
Bet
and so
anything to do with Futurama?
no,
Okay.
it has to do with genetics.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting.
four-leaf clovers are genetically rare, right?
Mhm.
They're rare. You don't see them often, but um, it's the same thing with Asperger's or autism. I have
Mm.
autism, right? And so I'm like, four-leaf clovers are genetically rare, just like autism. I'll just get a tattoo of it, and so that's why I have a tattoo of four-leaf clover.
That's genuinely so fucking nice. Like to ah, because the thing is like, um, obviously I can't like um I have autistic friends, and like most of the time they feel ashamed, like they hate the fact that it's something that like looms over their life. Um, but you know, to turn it into something like beautiful, to like, and once again, it's just a matter of like perception, like how I see Tetris. This is how you see um Asperger's, autism, is that it is a genetic rarity, like a rare thing, and that's what makes it beautiful. The fact that it's rare. Is that the case?
Yes. I
Yeah, and
yes.
it's beautiful and like it's healthy as well. Um, I it's and going back to Tetris, it's you making the best out of the pieces that have been given to you. Um, and I think that that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Where's the tattoo? Where'd you say it was?
It was on my forearm. It's like under my wrist,
Mm.
and I'm thinking getting another type of flower type for my
Oh yeah,
grandma.
I
Um,
think you got a good thing going on with like plants and whatever. So yeah, no,
thank
that's
you.
sick.
I'm
Have a whole like sleeve of flowers.
as you can see my profile and my name, Flower Kid. You know,
I didn't notice. I didn't notice that. I'm a kid. That'd be about me. Daisies on my face. I didn't see that till just. Oh, no, I kid.
while we're here, it's been 40 minutes. Do you want to go on to 50, or do you want to
Oh,
end?
like, bro, it's fine. Like, I know you still got some more questions to ask, and like, I'm happy. I'm happy to. Um, yeah, we're chilling.
All right. I've seen that you've liked Homestuck, and I wanted to ask, how did you get into it, and who's your favorite character?
Yeah. Um, First, before I answer that question, how did you know I was into Homestuck?
I was scrolling through your Twitter because I wanted to make some interview questions. And that's
Mm.
how I saw the Mario, and that's how I saw the Overwatch. And I was kind of, I was, you know, the do you play games nowadays? I was kind of scared to ask that because I was wondering, do you like, should I ask about like Valorant and Overwatch, or should I
I
just?
did. I did play Valve. No, I think that's a valid question because I did have a period where I did quit Overwatch. Back in the very beginning of the year, before the sequel came out, I did quit Overwatch, and for a period I did quit Tetris. For the most stupidest fucking reasons. Like, Overwatch was valid because it just gave me no serotonin, and it was like, um, it was such a distraction from my other shit that like, I needed to delete it in
Yeah.
order for it to be healthy. Um, and I briefly quit Tetris because, like this was years ago. Back then, the person I was dating just disapproved Tetris.
Mhm.
And then, so I get the whole meme of it's me or the PS5. It was that, but like it's me or Tetris.
That is, I am.
I had to dip out of Tetris for, but the moment we broke up, I was back on the grind. I
Let's
was back on the grind.
go.
I was
That's
back to
it's
top
like
50 in Australia, baby.
it's like the tattoo like just glows with like energy, just like
For
I'm back.
real. Yeah. So going back to Homestuck. Yeah. Got into Homestuck back in ninth grade. Ninth grade. I was like
Mm.
14 at the time. Um, a fun little domino effect of events. I got into Adventure Time. I got into an online community forum of Adventure Time. One of the people there posted a. Are you familiar with lyric stocks? Like just animatic Homestuck videos with songs, basically.
Yes. Yes.
So someone posted one of Blue Lips by Regina Scepter, I think. Blue Lips Regina. Yes, Spectre. I watched the video. She was the person was like, "Hey, Marcy, can you learn this on piano?" And I'm like, "Bet." And so I'm just looking at this animatic, have no idea what the heck's going on here. But then the YouTube algorithm decided, hey, if this dude's looking at other Homestuck animatic, let's just give him all of them. And so I suddenly started getting recommended these things. I'm like, who are these guys? What is a Homestuck? And then that's
Homestuck.
And obviously curiosity killed the cat. And now I am severely damaged mentally for the rest of my life thanks to that domino of effect.
Thanks, YouTube.
I mean, look, YouTube brought you to me, and me to you. So,
Hey,
it's Which YouTube sometimes alright.
Yeah, YouTube is 50.
It throws a bone every now and then.
Exactly. Um, I got into Homestuck because of my friend, and I read Homestuck for like at least 50 panels, and then I was like, oh, I'm really bad at like I'm really bad at keeping attention, and so I was like, I'm gonna stop. and I just kind of like now and then watch people talk about it because I don't know, or watch people do animations, and I don't know. I never really got into what is Homestuck. Do you know what Homestuck is?
Homestuck is a webcomic, and it is initially about 4 kids who play a game together that end up ending the world. Like, so they bring about the apocalypse.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is a very long and tedious process. The way I got into it was that, thankfully, there's a YouTube channel that did like a Homestuck Let's Read. So with the whole voice actors, with the whole like it was
yeah, like,
it was very easy to get in through that. And yeah, so it kind of becomes a shit show. Like after you say 50 panels, there's like, I'm pretty sure 100k.
yeah, I that's why I said like I gotta stop. Oh god, I gotta stop.
Fair enough, especially now with like the lack of time we have. It is a very time consuming read, but also it is a very well, at the time, like back then, it was a banger read. It is still a good read. It's just dated in terms of like yeah, like the words they use and the characters they have. It was very much like commentary of the 2010s.
Nice. Oh, I think your mic.
Oh,
welcome back.
no, I just put a full stop there. I didn't know what else to say.
2010. Oh my god. That
was where things happened. That's where Adventure Time came in, regular show, that whole era of cartoons.
Oh my gosh, you're such a cartoon head and I love it. So talking about cartoons, I've been planning on making a video about regular show and about Rigby. How Rigby is like one of the best secondary characters to have like character development. But I wanted to know, how do you feel about the regular show movie and what he did in it? Spoilers, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, but bro, obviously, like, you understand, like, you empathize with the dude, like, he doesn't want to be alone, and like, keeping in mind that the college where everyone gets accepted, Rigby is so dumb to the point where he doesn't get accepted. That's kind of fucked.
It is.
Genuinely, because we see throughout the show that like Rigby isn't proud of his like how he is. He wants to be better, and like I'm so happy that they gave him that like high school arc. That
that high school diploma was amazing.
Yeah, because it goes to show that Rigby as a character, he does want to do better. He's not a lost cause, and so when he's given this indication that he is a lost cause, like the rejection letter, like, bro, that hurts, man. And so like, yeah, what he did was definitely like not called for, but he did do it out of love. Like, well, not out of love. It was both for selfish and selfless reasons. You know, like, I know if I wouldn't do that to my best friend. I wouldn't jeopardize my main man. Future opportunities. But also, I'm not Rigby.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he apologizes for it. I'm pretty sure he does. And then they reconcile. So like, all's well.
All is well, I guess. I mean, like, if Mordecai's happy, then I feel like the movie is very like. I want to say it. I don't want to say it, but I want to say it. It's a poorly added like like it's poorly added. The reason why Mordecai changes to being evil was because Rigby changing the little slip. I feel like that was like terrible. Like that's like the bro code you never break. Like I don't know. I feel like maybe the movie could have done something differently where like more like Rigby messes a chance up to get a girlfriend or something. I don't know. Like I just rather have something different than like actually getting into college, because that's serious. Like
I think like maybe the series, not the movie, but the series should change in that it gives more indication that Mordecai is unhappy with his life in the park. It's like
oh
I think it's
yeah.
a very valid thing to turn evil with that one change. Like, because once again, domino effect. If you don't get into college, then you end up stuck in this fucking like dead end job at the park, unfulfilled. And Rigby took that away from him. Like that's also yeah, no, that's messed up. But I think if the show communicated that not just Mordecai not love life is shit, but if we also explored like him being unfulfilled doing the park job, then the movie would make like a lot more sense.
Totally.
But like it would also simultaneously add so much more depth to Mordecai beyond just love. Love.
Simp. Sorry, I don't think
Yeah,
that's-
pretty much.
I don't.
What came to a surprise to me during the series finale was that Mordecai became an artist. I don't think there was any indication of like there was barely any indication of that throughout the actual series. Of him like wanting to be like an artist or like him having the potential to be an artist.
Oh wait, no, there was actually a scene where he goes to his mom's where Mordecai goes to his mom's, and he has like he's like whatever you do, stop. I kind of vaguely remember, but Mordecai could draw. He was an artist in the movie too.
Yeah, okay, then okay.
Vaguely remember.
But that's the thing though. You only vaguely remember one scene.
Yeah, I think they should have probably been more.
Meanwhile, I bring up Mordecai's love life, and you're like, simp. Like, that's pretty much his whole identity.
I
Like,
kind of hate that.
that's what he's known for, and so, yeah, I think they should have like put more depth to his character. And if you wanted to like tie that into the movie and justify his evil turn, then you could have just sprinkled some unfulfillment through the series. I don't know. But like that's not to like shit on the show's writing. No, I think the show's writing is good. Like Rigby is a very well done character, and I think it's fantastic that he's finally getting some recognition through your video essay. That'd be wonderful.
Thank you. I feel like in a long time that the second character is more favorable than the first character, because no one doesn't want to be a Mordecai. Even though Mordecai gets a girlfriend, get to be an artist and whatever, no one wants to be
I got a question for you. What makes you think Mordecai is the main character?
Well, the reason why I feel like Mordecai is like the main character is because he's the intelligent one. He's like he has to be like the one to make sense of everything, right? He's like, oh, don't put too much fire on that grill, you know?
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. No,
And
that's actually a very interesting observation that like our minds automatically see the smarter one as the head. I guess that goes back to our whole like primal genetics.
yeah, just like, oh, he's talk smart. He tall too. He's the best one.
But like, the thing is like if you swap their bodies around, so like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just like freeballing at the moment. But if you swap their bodies around, an argument can be made. The same argument could be made that Mordecai. I don't know what I'm saying actually. I don't know. I take it all back.
Well, I was gonna agree with you and be like, well, then that's just what's it called? Jake and Finn. Finn is not the brightest bulb in the pit, but Jake is like one of the like smartest brothers around, you know?
Yeah, true. He do be dropping that wisdom.
And I feel like secondary characters need more like Jake is like the best secondary character to support you. Rigby is the best character development, and like so forth and so on with all these other cartoons like Dexter Laboratory, where like Dee Dee's sister is like the funniest character you can think of. What else? Just any type of cartoon with secondary characters, which I've been seeing more and more, that like you can't really have like a cartoon without a secondary character. Really, it would suck nowadays. I'm just thinking now. What do you think about secondary characters? Do you have any opinions on it?
I love secondary characters, and I actually, like, way back in high school, I tried to do this assignment where I wrote a narrative from the point of view of a secondary character, like just being a bystander to all the main character events. Like,
that would have been
like Steven Universe. Yeah. Imagine like the entire story through the lens of Connie. Like, your best friend is going through this whole crisis. Like, nothing's happening to you, but you're just in someone else's story. I think it's such an interesting concept that like secondary characters, because they have the equal amount of depth, but just like not the equal amount of attention, even though like sometimes they have an even better story to tell. And I think like even Lord of the Rings, like the guy that did Lord of the Rings, J.R.
Tolkien.
J.R. Tolkien. He literally rewrote Lord of the Rings from the perspective of Sam, like the secondary character. And I think we need more of that. We need more like attention to the secondary characters. And I think that's why I asked earlier, like, what makes you think Mordecai is the one? Because like the main character. Because when I look at the show from like a writing thingy, it seems like writing perspective, Mordecai and Rigby are very equal to each other in terms like screen time. They share the same screen time. They share the same like character developments and depth, and they literally go on the adventures together. Like, they are a package duo. It's like Hitchcock and Sully, like from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like, there is no main character out of the two of them, but I guess it's because the two of them are idiots, and there is no like alpha one out of the two. I don't know. I'm just like, it's interesting to see. Think about.
I think it's all of perspective. How you look at cartoons, really, because you could see in like the what's it called, the Adventure Time, you could see that maybe Finn is the main character and Jake is just the secondary character. Or you could see, I don't know, what's it called, Amazing World of Gumball, where Darwin and Gumball is really how you look at it. And objective speakingly, like you're 100% correct. Like, Rigby and Mordecai are the main characters, but I feel like sometimes what writers do is that they sometimes make the secondary character have all of like the best moments and the main character don't have any, but it's a rare case. And like, I feel like that's what happened to regular show, because Mordecai does a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah.
Like, kill his friend for like push his friend. I'll kill you. It just pushes him.
Okay, that was your first like when I think back Mordecai moments, surprisingly that one isn't the first one that comes to mind. The first one that comes to mind is the wedding, Russell Mann's wedding, where he just makes the whole speech. I watched that episode and I've like audibly cringed. I had to pause the thing, because I just like, Mordecai isn't a very likable main character. I'm keep it real. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
he's the foil to Rigby. That's all.
I can't root for him.
Honestly, you could, and it's like you could have had like the best CJ, Mordecai. You could have had the best thing going, but all you had to do was just say, hey, what's her name? Or what was her name?
Margaret.
Margaret. I
Margaret,
don't think
yeah.
I like you anymore. I like CJ. But then he had to say, well, I kind of have feelings for you. And then I'm like, oh my, like, I don't get it.
Okay. Exactly, and that's just poor writing. It's poor. I don't know if it's poor writing.
I don't know if it's honestly it could be like we could be like missing out on something, and we could and then like after this little interview we could just be like, oh my god, it's actually bigger than we thought. Like,
it has been like years since I last seen the episode, but I
man,
just I remember the memory of me cringing.
I cringe too. But I feel like Finn is a better character to Rigby, not Rigby, to Mordecai. You know what I mean? I feel like he tries to do the good thing, but like he fails at it because he never done it before.
I think Finn grows the most. Like if you were to condense the character growth of Mordecai and Finn is because like each season, not each season, but like especially towards the end, not even like Distant Lands, but like what was the last season? I think Adventure Time season
13.
What was the last season? Season 10? Was it? Yeah, season 10. There's just so much significant growth from who he is, like in all aspects, in the romance department, in the fighting department, in the sibling department, and just Finn truly grows up. And meanwhile, in with Mordecai's character growth, the only one that I can recognize is sure he finds a new love interest.
I think for me, for the ending for regular show, I was so pissed. I was like, this is some cliche giving Mordecai a girlfriend at the end at an art museum. I feel like that was a little cliche. We could have done something a little better than that. I don't know.
Like, I think it's because we spent so much time with Margaret and CJ that we'd expect, we'd want we'd expect that same amount of investment and time for Mordecai's actual partner, like the one that turns out to be Mordecai's partner, and then it's just a 2-second scene.
maybe we should like, I don't know, like I'm so confused. I'm like so conflicted because like, are we supposed to care about Mordecai getting the last moment girlfriend or marrying her or whatever, or should we like just like move on and be like, all right, he has a happy ending? Because I think you can write a happy ending without having a girlfriend. Like for instance, Finn, you know, he almost what was the witch hunter, the
Huntress Wizard.
Huntress Wizard. That was the last character that was romantically with him, and then everything else, which is him being okay with himself because he had self-love. So I don't know. I don't know. Did Mordecai find self-love?
Nope.
I don't think he did. That's my theory. But that's just only a film theory.
There we go. We're back full circle.
Full circle.
We did it. Wrap it up.
And scene. All right.
There we go. Is that? What do you think? Are you happy with that?
I'm happy with that. That was a good film theory. That was full. Yeah, we came full circle.
Oh, there we go. All right. Well, it's 2 a.m. now.
Thank you.
It's getting there. No, of course.
Thank you so much for coming to Distance. And you know, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and it's been a pleasure getting to pick your brain. This was initially a Hail Mary on Twitter, so Hail Mary.
Honestly, no. Thank you for reaching out. No, it was very nice to be interviewed about my stuff, and like, Um, yeah, never been in this position before, but like honestly, like thank you for your kind words and the support with the videos and just your interest. Really, really good time. I had a good time.
Thank you.
Thank you for reaching out. Wasn't really a Hail Mary. I'm very keen on the idea.
All right. We love to hear it.
But yeah, good luck with everything, like in the future projects. All right, I'll be looking out for the Rigby video and all your other content as well.
Dude, thank you. And I'll be looking out for you too. I can't wait to look at those midnight raids
Midnight
because
Train. Yep.
oh god, I'm gonna be working a lot. So can't wait to watch it.
All good, bro. All right, best of luck.
Thank you. Good
All
one.
right, cheers. Have a good day.
And that was it, a part of our podcast or our interview. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day.